Are we live yet? Can you hear me? Oh, Scorpio. Dear, dear, dear Scorpio, can you hear me? Or are you still hiding? Questions. Questions, dear Scorpio. Okay, so this is what is coming through me for the month of January, February, March, and April of 2023. So in January, we got some communication backlog that isn't going forward until the end of January into February before it's really a full steam. The communication slowdown, hold up, should be flowing by April. So what has been a held back, holding you back, at the beginning of the month. Um, yeah, by February, March, April, it'll be flowing way much better. Excuse me. But that doesn't mean that there won't be changes in the home. What kind of home environment, things changing in the home environment. That's going to be an issue of. So, Scorpio, um, you don't like to share your information as much as you should. And therefore, some of the information that you should have shared comes back as a sting in the tail. Um, so, there's, what is it? What do you need to share? What do you need to share in order to make the home life better? Because it's going to be more of an issue in February and thereafter. So, is it just in communicating what's going on or what needs to be done, but something with the home, on the home front? There's going to be some communications that are going to be needing to be addressed. And does that firm foundation not seem so firm as what it once stood? And those are also fears of from our past, not having that firm foundation. But there again, Scorpio, remember, a rock to a rock. Isn't one rock the same as long as it fits right? So remember that one, Scorpio. Now, hold back on, uh, um, well, you've kind of had a change of in the, fun, creativity, sex, children, fifth house, Pisces, Neptune's been in Pisces, and, the illusions, delusions regarding and the flow of, and now Saturn coming through in there, and the having too much fun and knowing what fun is worth the expense of too much fun. So there's going to be some flipping and flopping and possibilities of multiplication in end of January. End of January, February, you'll have fun flipping and flopping, at least if you're looking for children. That's a good time to flip and flop. So just an FYI um, on that one. So have fun. New beginnings on February 1st. Um, yeah, yeah. If you're wanting a new baby, another baby, Scorpio, February, flipping and flopping. That sounds like a really good time in order to um, enjoy at least making babies. And just remember, if you do not want a baby, then make sure that you wear a raincoat if you're going out into the rain or other dark places, maybe. Okay, so yeah, because going into too many dark places, we know how Scorpio likes those dark places, and don't have too much fun because, you know, that might affect your health come um, February. Well, really, January, January, you're going to be, there's going to be a lot of work offered you. So, health work, service, daily routine, Chiron, the wounded healer, passing through there. So, how many job positions that you have had that have ended up being Achilles' heel for one reason or another? Now, if you haven't learned by now, Jupiter is coming to multiply it. So, it's your worth, the value of your worth is playing in there now too, and it's going to continue to play into there until March. And resentments are like swallowing poison, waiting for someone else to die. So, if you are not, if you do not feel like you are being paid your worth, then speak up. Don't leave it inside because you don't want to sting, and then there goes the bridge. Don't or burn the bridges before or you never know when you need to cross a bridge. So you take out a bridge, well, you know, that's not real smart because, like I said, you never know when you want to use them. And as they say, no man's an island. So if you're taking out bridges on both sides, yeah, well, I hope you can support yourself, you know. So that's, yeah. That's just what came through. That's what it said to tell you. And yeah, it's okay. Come on. Say what you mean what you say, don't say it mean. But part of the work and the illness is related. Outside manifest is illness within. So if you have and have had many, well, yeah, don't even tell me, that, yeah. How many of you started and never, and there again, that doesn't mean that you did anything wrong, they did anything wrong, but you just completed what you needed to know, and you would move on to the next job where you learned what you needed to know and then moved on. So that Scorpio is more of an MO for you, and there will be, as I said, multiple job offers. So do not look for the financial as a whole reason. Make sure that you like it, okay? Because February 5th, you're going to have a chance to really get your career and take that leap of faith for your career. And whether it's communicating, putting it out there, March, that might be the fun of what you're going to do, communicating the fun of the thought of, with the creativity and, if you don't want to be making babies, you're making babies in some form or fashion, in whether it's art or other life forms, the creation of, somebody said that they cannot hear me. Okay, can y'all hear me now? Dang, are you serious? You didn't hear any of that when I just said? Oh, that really sucks. And I can't tell you how bad that sucks. 12 minutes of it sucking that bad. Well, I'll tell you what. I am just gonna hope that you can pick up the sound and hear what I am saying without my microphones. That is the third headphone with microphone that just do not pick up. Of course, it is a Mercury retrograde. What? You can't hear me now? Well, dang. Oh, you can hear me now. Oh, wait, cool. Yay. Okay. So those of you who have joined, could you hear me at all from the beginning, or has it been going in and out? It's like, do I need to start all over again for those of you who are Scorpio? Or should I just finish it up? Because it was very, very important of what I had already stated. So that was I'm sure you heard the girls. Girls, stop. Now, I just joined. I'm a Scorpio. Okay, well then, since y'all just joined, and I'm hearing that you couldn't hear me from like 11 minutes on, I'm gonna go back and repeat myself. Or no, let me continue on for those who have already been here, and I will finish up and go back and start over again. So it'll be all information. So this is for Scorpio for January, February, March, and April of 2023. So a lot of communication is slowing up. Not being able to take those travels, the trips, the things that you want to do, there's been a hold up in that. And it seems it's been even more of a hold up. And going back, it's like, what needs to be communicated out there. As I said in the beginning, Scorpios are more keep it in and don't get it out there. And it's going to be partnerships, the unusual partnerships that are going to be a focus coming up in April. So look at your partnerships, whether it's a sexual or other type of a partnership. All right. That's going to be coming to the forefront mainly. I mean, it's coming there right now. And looking at, and am I attracting to unusual? Excuse me while I take a sip. I've only been talking on the phone and then doing readings for a couple of hours. So that's why I was like, oh, dang. Don't tell me you can't hear me. Those Scorpios, is that why you don't speak? Because you think people don't hear you. Well, in your relationship house, you're going to have to. Oh, excuse me. Well, I drop 'em in. Okay, let's go. Yeah, relationships, the unusual relationships. And in April, when Mercury goes back again, because you value, your relationships are very important to you. Your relationships with people, places, and things are very important to you. They have to have a value. They have to hold a value. So the communication, the going back of, in your relationships, and is this exactly what you have been looking for in a relationship? And if it's not, how can I make this relationship even better? So, or how can I use this and utilize this relationship for more of a financial benefit for both of us? And that's especially coming, March, but into April. And in April and May, the financial support will start to come in. You might be working on the paperwork. You might be working on the paperwork now. Hang on. And that was a big box of oranges. Oh, hang on. There we go. Sorry about that. That is who I was already on the phone an hour with, so I will definitely get a hold of her when we're done. And there you go. Say what you mean what you say, don't say it mean. But there's always a time and a place in which to communicate. And communications, as I said, with relationships are going to be highlighted and are being highlighted. What kind of kink are you looking for? Or have you not learned with what kind of kink you want or don't? Or, you want vanilla or chocolate or, a little bit of a twist. And the choice is yours. It's to thine own self be true. That is the hardest battle that we have to do. And that is when the enemy has an outpost in our heads. So, money, other people's money, honey. Definitely work on that. There's communications in that. Make sure that you have your living will and all that kind of good stuff. Because if you don't have your paperwork in order, who's getting your stuff, then probably the state's gonna. Depending on where you're at, yeah, oops, there you go. Sorry, you lost it. So, make sure that all that paperwork is in order. But you're also going to be working with and having money through other people, the beginnings of. So the possibilities of people investing in your dreams. What is it that you want to do? Because there's a full moon coming up in February. I'm like, dang it, did I say that was a new? But I think I said a full. Anyhow, no, I said February, new moon, new babies. So if you don't want a baby, be extra careful, because chances are very good of conceiving or creating new babies in whatever form or fashion that that you call your baby. I know I've called my artwork my babies, so I would assume that you can understand that. As the nature goes, or watching the birds, and they're flying. It looks to the west. They're flying inland. I wonder if there is a storm at sea. Is there a storm at sea near you, Scorpio? And what kind of storm is it? Is there something that you can do about it? Or is it self-imposed? So, the health, service, daily routine is very important. And your wounded healer is in here. So outside manifest as illness within. So the things that you have been painting, that has been painting you since way back in childhood, go back into childhood and find that first pain and heal it. And, depending on, they're all going to compound upon that first one. So go back to that first one and see how life would have been different if you would have known the information in behind that first pain. And most of the time, it's, family, friends who have and do inflict that first pain. And when you go back and heal that, forgiveness is sweet victory, because no matter how or why they inflicted harm, it is forgiving them for not being perfect. And, hopefully, if they would have known better, they would have done better. But they were probably raised in such a manner that that's all they knew. So, you gotta forgive them instead of flicking them with your tail, as you tend to do. Okay? And the relationships, I had talked about relationships earlier, and your health, and outside manifesting within, and the attention upon. And are you using the information? Because not all of you follow the same path. Some of you have and understand the healing of those pains. And maybe now you are also looking at taking what you learned and organizing it as, how can you use it in a daily routine? And now you're ready to bring that as a teaching. Are you teaching or are you learning? Are you the teacher or are you the student? And that's going to be more prevalent coming up in March and April. So could that be what you would like to do for a career? And now that you have already been through that self-healing, are you going to be a teacher of self-healing? Or is that what you need to do in order to be a self-healer? Because with Jupiter going through there, Chiron going through there, Venus, Mercury, highlighted by the Sun, and that is February, March. Jupiter's there, going to be multiplying whatever you are doing, and it's your wounded healer. So look at what needs to be healed and heal it. And feel that weight when you finally let go. And okay, hands up, I don't have to know how or why. If it's God's will, it will be. And it's all good. The divine orderly direction. And that is indefinite chaos, because life is indefinite chaos until divine order is found. And I have found it through using my soul charts and astrology. And that way, that insanity that hinges on genius, it makes way much more sense. So, remember, you can't fight the enemy when they have an outpost in your head, and others cannot read your mind. So if you keep quiet and that infection keeps festering, well, let's see, what do we got going on? By April, you'll be ready to get rid of it, okay? So, or forced to get rid of it. How's that? Forced to get rid of it. So, be very, very good in that one. And let's see, the communications, the whole of the communications that you are experiencing. Don't go out and start a new job, new contract, new paperwork, buy new things. Well, it is said, and fact is, well, Mercury's in retrograde. So Mercury's pretty much in retrograde, at least till the end of the month. It goes direct on the 18th, and, with the shadow phase until it's finally moving forward. It won't really be moving forward until closer, well, yeah, it'll be in February when it's finally going a little bit quicker, and then it's going to be zipping on through. And what kind of communications is going to be needed and is going through the home front now. So what kind of lessons, what kind of blessings, and have you taken care of the karma associated in the home that has been there for a while? And there's going to be some pressure where the communications you might not want to have communicated, but it's going to be coming out there, pushing in the home life, changing the home life, shaking the grounds of the home life. How much do you love the home in which you're at, and how much do you wish that you could change where you're at and make it different? So that's going to be, and will continue to be, in January, February, and then it's like March and April. Well, Pluto's going to be coming through. So there's going to be a bunch of shaking going on. Hopefully y'all are aware of earth changes and how in the flash of an instant what you had can be gone. So, what you thought of as a home is no more, or what you wanted has been transformed into what is it that you want, and are you willing to sacrifice going out and having too much fun and putting money in the bank and saving that extra or building that extra? Because if you're going for excesses, then excesses will bring you X's. When we do anything in X's, extremes, then it comes back to bite our butts. So keep all things in moderation, as Buddha would say. Go the middle way, and because it's like you're gonna have to work on it and get it out there, and stop keeping it in. And if, like I said, if you want a baby, great opportunity coming up February, March. But then it's also coming up with a lesson with that one too. And what are you creating? And with Mercury in there, be careful of poison in the water. If you're serious about getting pregnant, well, make sure you got clean blood. You got a clean system in order to carry a child. Because that would really suck to carry a child and have, or lose, or not live upon. So be very, if you want a baby, get healthy. I guess that's what I've been trying to say. And I guess some of you will take it that way. And some of you won't, and that's okay. It's not, how is that? It's not what I say, it's how I say it. So some of you will take it in different ways. And I might not even have meant it in the same form and fashion that you take it. But that is the way that that you needed to hear in order to understand what I was saying. And therefore, aren't we talking about communication and going backwards? And you want to be aware, don't buy any electrical, mechanical, it's not recommended during a retrograde, but what can go wrong will go wrong, and I'm saying my prayers right now as I say that. So, it looks like we is winding down, Scorpio. I hope that y'all heard what you needed, and you got some things that you're going to be working through, but you also have some really good beginnings that are coming up. And remember that mind is a terrible thing to waste, and thought creates form. So what are you thinking about? So a big part of what is it that you want? Think about, focus on, manifest. That's pretty much as simple as you can get. It's like, worry's a wasted energy. Why worry? Why worry about things that you cannot do? Things that you cannot change. Things that you have no effect upon. Why worry? Why not have that faith that there is a power that's greater than, and you can say a prayer and have that faith that somehow, some way, in the divine time or power or whatever, that there is good and will be good, even if it's a bad situation. Because we know and understand, out of tragedy, people come together in love. And we know the earth, the Mother Earth, is cleansing itself. So, be aware of, have that bug out bag. Because you never know when they'll come looking for you. See you, love you, bye. Who is it?